Today I'm thinking about organization. I'm Linn and this is the Darbin Orvar channel.
This video is sponsored by Liquid, maker of the Key Caddy.
I've always loved the concept of a floating shelf. Just the idea that you can't see how it attaches to the wall. I think that's just kind of cool. And one thing that I have been kind of thinking about lately is organization. I'm one of these people who never really quite know where I put my keys, and I can be a little messy sometimes. So I was thinking that'd be really cool to make a floating shelf organizer. Perfect to put up in your entryway, hallway, or even in your bathroom or something like that. You can organize things in it, but it's a floating shelf. So it's hanging there, and you can use it for whatever you want. How about we build it?
For this project, I decided to use mahogany, which I had on hand. First, I laminated two 1/2-inch pieces together to create a bigger top. Next, I cut up my box. Again, I used 1/2-inch mahogany, and I created a simple box with mitered corners. I used the table saw for these cuts, and for the bottom, I used 1/8-inch plywood. This enabled me to make an 1/8-inch groove all around on the table saw, so I didn't have to get out the router. As you can see, there's a gap on the end. This is for attaching the shelf to the wall. This is a pretty simple construction with the mitered corners, the groove to hold the bottom, and then the dado to slip in the back board. To put the box together, I decided to just use glue. To connect the lid to the box, I put on some hinges. Then I marked out where on the box the hinges needed to go. Now, in order for the lid to sit flush, I needed to chisel out a hole for the hinges. I made multiple shallow cuts and then I cleaned it out with a chisel. Then I tested to see if it was a good depth. To figure out exactly where I needed to screw on the hinges, I put on some tape so I could make some marks while it stayed in place. To create a divider inside the box, I had cut out two thin strips of mahogany with a hole in the middle in each so they fit together. Now the empty back area is designed to hang the shelf on the wall. There's going to be another piece of wood there. However, I want to hide that piece of wood, so I needed to create a back piece to completely seal the box. So I cut a strip and I made sure I had enough room to open the lid. I sanded it to fit the profile of the lid, and then I also glued on another thin strip to completely enclose the back. To make room for the hinges, I chiseled out some holes, and then I glued and clamped on the back piece. For a finish, I decided to go with my wax and linseed oil polish, which adds some depth. Like any box, I didn't finish the inside. Of course, I buffed it real good, like you always want to do with the wax, and it really brought out the color. I love this finish because it's so quick to do. It doesn't need to cure, yet it becomes so smooth and it really brings out that color, which is nice. Now for the back, I cut up a piece of 2x4 to fit perfectly inside that empty space. Next, I drilled holes in the sides, added the wood, and then pre-drilled that as well. Then I took the wood out and attached it to the wall with screws. Then I simply slid in the box and screwed the sides onto the wood. Now, this is plenty strong enough to sit on there, and as long as you don't put anything too heavy on, this is going to be just fine.
And this is how the box came out. I think it's quite nice, and I think it'd be really cool to have it by the door so you can put your keys, your phone, necessities like that. Well, thinking about organization, get this really cool thing from Liquid. Ever want to go from this to this? Well, this is a really cool little key caddy. It basically takes this mess and puts it all inside this sleek little holder here, not unlike a Swiss Army knife. where you can put you can actually put as many keys as you want in here. They have these little adapters, you can make it as tall as you want. However, I think this is pretty good for comfort. Put it in your pocket. But they just tuck in here, and it's much neater than something like this. Well, this is a brand new company, and they've got a cool Kickstarter campaign. So you can go there and check it out and support this brand new launch. I think it's a really cool little thing. Perfect for organizing your life. And talking about organizing your life, I can kind of picture this in the bathroom, or, you know, as a jewelry holder. I can picture putting like a little mirror in here and then organizing jewelry or bath products or anything really. But I'm really quite happy about the way it turned out. And I wouldn't mind making more of these, maybe in different sizes. Of course, you can change your sizes, you can do whatever you want with something like this. This is just a basic model to go from.
I want to thank our sponsor Liquid. Be sure to check out their site and their Kickstarter campaign. There's a link in the description.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon in a couple of days. Bye!